A better way to frame it and a better way to look at it is having an ideal situation in mind, having an ideal lifestyle. Like, what would you need to have to be happy? Hey, how's it going, guys? Miguel here. I want to talk about this whole idea of being 100% recovered or being fully recovered, because a lot of people, the way they measure their recovery, like, okay, what percent am I at? Am I at 100% yet? When in reality, if you think about it, there is no such thing as 100%. In reality, what is 100%? Is that back to where you were before? Is that like your full potential? Because me, if I were to measure it by 100% or measure it by percentage, then I would have been recovered a year ago, but I'm always getting better. The thing is, I don't think you realize how much more healthy you can be. A lot of people confuse 100% with where they were before they got sick. And so for me, as someone who's gone through it, who's been fit and then got really sick and then got better, I've learned to realize that what I thought was 100% before is nowhere near 100%, because really, as we get better in life and we continue to improve, we're continually moving closer to our fullest potential, but really no one knows what our potential is. So a lot of times we get caught up in what percentage are we at. And the thing is, when you look at it from that perspective, you're constantly telling yourself, oh, I'm 40%, I'm 50%, 60%, 70%, almost there. You almost put that pressure on yourself to get to 100%. It's almost like getting a grade in school. You always want to get to that next level. If you have a C+, you want to get a C. If you have a B-, you want to get to a B+, or if you have a B, you want to get to an A. So it puts that pressure on you to want to get to 100%, when in reality, if you just take the time to go by how you feel versus by this number that you have in your head or this idea of what 100% is, you're going to be so much better off. You won't be tempted to rush the process, and you won't feel like you're lagging behind and not doing good enough, because who wants to be 40% or 50%? Not being at 100% implies that there's something wrong with you. And in reality, yeah, something could be wrong with you, but you don't want to look at yourself as like damaged goods or someone who's handicapped or at a disadvantage, because you're where you need to be right now. And I know it's hard to hear that, especially if you're someone who's been dealing with this for a long time and you feel like you're running in circles. Nobody wants to hear someone tell them you're where you need to be at right now. But where you are right now, it's teaching you things that you would never learn if you were never in this situation. And it's teaching you to change your ways and teaching you to really level up in all these different aspects of your life. So all the things that you may have neglected before, I don't know your exact situation, but maybe it's things like neglecting sleep. Maybe it's things like letting your mind rest or eating healthy, drinking enough water. Small things like that add up. An illness like this is gonna force you to take a back seat on everything and just actually take inventory of your life. Before, I would always ask myself, what percentage am I at? And the thing is, you find it's very biased. You'll tell yourself you're at 70%, 80%, when in reality, your body is nowhere near close to being as good as it was before when you got sick. And let's think about it. There's no real benchmark, no real measure to say that you're 100%. Right now, I've been sick in the past for years. I've come out of it, gotten better, and I never thought that I would be able to do the things that I'm doing again. Back then, I would have thought that 100% means I can live a normal life again and just live like everybody else. Now, to me, I want to get to the next level. I want to be able to exercise more frequently and have more energy and be able to do even more things. Obviously, keeping my health in mind and not pushing the limits, because I've learned how bad that can get in the past if I push it a little too far. But you'll have this end goal in mind. And I think a way to reshift that thinking is, instead of having a set end goal, have a vision of an ideal future, but not something that's like set in stone, that's so solid. When you think of 100%, you think of arriving at a destination, when in reality, that destination is always moving. As you continue to get better, you'll be stretching that finish line, and 100% will be doing more and more and more. So it's really finding where would you want your body to be at for you to feel like you're normal again. You know, for me, even before I was able to actually do all of these activities and live a quote unquote normal life, even on the way up during my recovery, I was having so many mental breakthroughs. It was great because it felt like I was doing everything again for the first time. There was no way I would have been that grateful if I wasn't that sick and that deep down in the hole. So when it comes to 100% or being quote unquote fully recovered, I think a better way to frame it and a better way to look at it is having an ideal situation in mind, having an ideal lifestyle. Like, what would you need to have to be happy? And strive towards that broad picture of what you would like your life to be like. So that's something I found very helpful. And the thing is, it's also not linear too. When I was on my recovery journey before, I would think that I'm 40% and then 60% and then 80%, but then I'd go back down to 40, then 20. And it was like always up and down, up and down. So when I was thinking of it in terms of percentages or how close I was to fully recovered, I would find myself rushing the process. And it wasn't until I actually took a step back and been like, we're in this for the long term now. I've tried it. All these years I've been trying so hard. I've been trying to push past to 100% and push past to a full recovery, but recovery is something that you cannot rush. A lot of it starts with the language you speak to yourself with. Are you moving closer to your potential? Are you moving closer to the ideal life? And what do you need to do to get there? There are a lot of things that you may not want to do, like brain retraining exercises, doing the meditation, especially when you're feeling good. Even me right now, I neglect the meditation and tend to push it a little bit when it comes to sleep, or I'll go like 12 hours without eating, 12, 14, 16 hours without eating just because I'm so busy with work. But then I'll start getting hungry, then my body will feel weird. Even though I can do pretty much normal stuff now, I'll find myself feeling just a slight hint of a symptom, not even a symptom. It's really just like your body's feeling the discomfort, and then it kicks me back. It reminds me, like, remember what happened before? Obviously, you get sick over time like that, and I'm able to recognize those things a lot sooner. Now I'm able to do so much more than before. I think I'm just mumbling at this point, but I hope you get the point. Measuring your recovery in terms of percentage and fully recovered versus moving closer towards an ideal life. It's good to have some measurables in place, things like how far are you able to walk? How much more activity can you do during the week? Are you able to go out with your friends once a week, once a month, whatever it is? I think it's good to have these benchmarks and these milestones so that you can feel like you're actually making progress. When you think about it as in percentages or like in terms of fully recovered, it's almost like you envision this marathon, and let's say this is the start, this is the end. As you're going through this journey, you're gonna wanna get to the end faster, but the thing is, the faster you wanna get there, the faster you try to get there, then the more you actually set yourself back. It's all about building a very strong foundation, and it all starts with your mind. It starts with the brain retraining. Even just up until a year ago, I was feeling symptoms. That's all I want to say about that. Stay positive, stay motivated, try to stay on track and be patient during your recovery. That is gonna help you if you learn to just not rush things and just be very patient. It's one of those skills that you're being forced to learn right now with something like this. You're being forced to be patient, and when you're not patient, your body makes you pay for it. As frustrating as it is, patience is a skill that is not only gonna help you recover and be able to do more things in life, but it's gonna help in so many other areas in life once you do get better. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If it resonated with a lot of you guys, just make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment down below. I'm always reading the comments. Every other day, every 2 or 3 days, I try to read the comments and reply to everybody. Even though I'm running my video business, this is something I do on the side because I just want to get the knowledge out to everybody and help them, because this is the kind of stuff that helped me, and these are the realizations that I've come to after having gone through a process of being super healthy, then being super sick, getting bedridden, getting my life stripped away from me, and then having to work to get my life back. So these are some of the lessons I learned. So I hope that is valuable to you guys. If it is, let me know. Stay strong, keep recovering, be patient. I'll see you guys in the next video.